Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope everybody is finding some peace. I felt like, first I'd like to say, welcome to Satanic Clown World. We've been living in it for a while, but yeah, I hope your time here in Satanic Clown World is as much fun as my time in Satanic Clown World is. And my time in Satanic Clown World consists of being murdered in my sleep and remote neural manipulated, uh, and remote neural monitored and hit with microwave weapons. So I hope you're having a better time than me. I know a lot of you aren't. I know a lot of you are really suffering from torture and everything. I felt like I had to make a video. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you already know the big news. YouTube's scorched earth, new censorship policies, because Steven Crowder made some offhanded jokes about the guy from Vox, and then he and some other online journalists made a huge stink about it, and then YouTube said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and just scorch any kind of conservative content or anything about corruption or false flags. We're going to go ahead and put that down. So many content creators have been wiped out. Their channels have been wiped out. A lot of videos have been wiped out. Many have been demonetized. So it's already like in effect. I don't know how much it's going. I mean, it's going to affect targeted individuals. It's going to affect us because we have to talk about other corrupt things in society, such as false flags that happen and things like that, because that's what leads to things like this experimentation and stuff. So we're going to have to be very. I think that people are basically leaving YouTube. I'm going to just keep using it. The only fear that I have, or concern I have, not fear, but the concern that I have is that I say something wrong about some event or something like that, and then all of my videos are taken down, and I've worked for like 6 years trying to get the word out about this targeting, about this non-consensual human experimentation with remote neuro weapons and microwave weapons. So I am kind of concerned about that, but we have to tell the truth. We just have to tell the truth, no matter what how things are, how the censorship policies are. I guess we can try and navigate our way through and say certain things certain ways, but I'm not very good at that. My brain's being so microwaved, I kind of just have to say what's on my mind. And if I use the wrong word, I mean, if I slip up and use, like the school in Connecticut, if I say anything about that, my channel could get taken down. They're taking down so many channels. I just call it YouTube's scorched earth policy. I think the beginning of the end was when Google bought YouTube. Then YouTube really became like kind of a plaything of the military-industrial complex. Let me read this article to you. I just wanted to do a short video on this. I feel like it's such big news. I was gonna make a video. I'm still gonna make a video about Julian Assange and some more developments that I see on that. But I felt like I just had to make a video about this. It does affect us all, and I've been using YouTube for a long time. When I first started using it, I was like, oh, this is heaven. I get to, speak about something the mainstream media isn't really touching, and I can get the word out to a lot of people. Other targeted individuals have gotten the word out. I think that if we're just sticking to that topic, we'll be okay. But as we know, corruption in our country and other countries is wide-ranging, and there's a lot of corrupt things that we have to talk about, that targeted individuals need to talk about, and then other people who are really trying to get the truth out on some horrendous things going on in our world. They're being shut down, and they, planning to move to other platforms and stuff. BitChute, DLive, and some other Patreon and things like that. I'm gonna start thinking about getting all my content and like downloading it to a hard drive so that I can upload it somewhere else or on a website maybe. That's gonna be a task because I've got like 950 videos or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how much this will affect me and what I'm putting out. I really don't know yet. but I know that a lot of other people who are speaking some brave truths have been demonetized, or their channels are totally gone, or just for saying certain words about the school in Connecticut, that issue, that, you know, their channel has gotten taken down. Let me start reading this. It's really bad. I mean, it's really bad. But the thing is, it's like, I think a lot of people are maybe shocked, maybe not. Maybe a lot of people saw this coming. But I think for targeted individuals, like for somebody like me or you guys watching this video, who you're being, you know, tortured in your sleep, and your brain's being microwaved and raped. It's like, yeah, they're gonna have to, when people start making headway and getting the truth out and making the public aware about really bad things, that then the public can take action to stop those things in society. Obviously, they got to shut that down. The really horrendous, weird thing is that it's, you know, they can use that one event, Steven Crowder saying a couple of, I don't know if a lot. Let me read some. Some of you may not know the situation, but Steven Crowder basically made some offhanded jokes about a homosexual Latino guy at Vox, and they really weren't mean-spirited. You know, he didn't. They really weren't very slur-like in my opinion. At first, YouTube did side with Crowder and said this doesn't go against our policies, but then you know, Vox, and then the Verge, I think, is the other online magazine or online journal, just kept talking about it. The guy. Well, let me read some of this article to you guys. YouTube to remove thousands of videos pushing extreme views. So it's like they've used this incident between Steven Crowder and Marcos. I forget his last name, but they've used this incident to just to wipe out a lot of conservative channels on YouTube. In the mainstream media, they're kind of positioning the narrative of like, oh, they're going to take down Nazi videos and extreme videos, but it's really just people talking about false flags, questioning things in society. You know, talking like, I don't think it's going to be a problem to talk about immigration and things like that. They're framing it where it's like, we're getting all the haters out of here, but it's really people talking about important issues. And there are some people who talk about really important issues that are not, you know, they're not haters and they're not hating on people, but they talk about, you know, like the corruption of Israel and the Mossad, you know, dual citizenship over in the United States, and a lot of things, a lot of bad things that the leadership of certain countries are doing, and it has nothing to do with being hate-filled towards a certain group. But they're going to have their content really looked at. No More News has already gotten his channel demonetized, and he's not a racist guy, and he sticks with the facts. So many channels that just stick with the facts are getting taken down, or getting their videos taken down. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this. If you didn't, probably a lot of you guys already know about this, but I definitely wanted to make a video about it. So this from the New York Times, so it's going to be really slanted. You know, they say that YouTube is removing videos pushing extreme views, but that's not what's happening. I mean, they're really going after a lot of conservative content that is not extreme, that is just looking at things in our society. So from June 5th, YouTube announced plans on Wednesday to remove thousands of videos and channels that advocate neo-Nazism, white supremacy, and other bigoted ideologies. Excuse me, guys. White supremacy and other bigoted ideologies in an attempt to clean up extremism and hate speech on its popular service. The way that the New York Times is doing the narrative is just, it's propaganda. You know, I'm ashamed. I think we should all be ashamed of you know, the mainstream papers and the mainstream TV news. They're also speaking out against free speech, and we know that the first plan is to do away with free speech, and then it's to take the guns. They're already killing people in their homes with remote microwave weapons, like the system, the military-industrial complex. But if they can stop people's free speech and then take away people's guns, they can do more of it. They can do more tyrannical things. I don't know how much more tyrannical you can get than raping somebody's brain and putting V2K in their head 24/7 for decades. But they can. I guarantee you, it can get. I don't want to say. I don't want to be. I don't want to be negative about it. Things can get worse. But we'll figure out that there are solutions to this for the people who are getting banned from YouTube and stuff like that. I think that other providers, other platforms are gonna kind of rise up and become popular. I think it's gonna take the monopoly off of YouTube. Something good could come out of this, So the new policy will ban videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion, the company said in a blog post. The prohibition will also cover videos denying that violent events like the mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut took place. So, I mean, does that cover, does it cover false flags like 9/11? Like, if I say that in this video right now, are they going to take my channel down? I don't know. I don't know. Just saying 9/11 was a false flag, it really happened, but they use it to go to war and to put the Patriot Act in effect in the United States and do a bunch of draconian things like torture me with V2K and remote neural manipulation, remote neural monitoring. Is that going to get my channel taken down? I don't know. I mean, but if we have to watch out on little things that we say like that, then it really doesn't matter. And YouTube is just, it's gone as far as we can take it, I mean, I think as targeted individuals, we need to still keep using it and getting the word out. But we definitely, I mean, even us, even talking about, they're already shadow banning us, and they already don't promote our videos and things like that. But I think we should look for other alternatives. I think a lot of targeted individuals have already done that, but I'm going to work a lot more on that. I've just, got to work on that. YouTube did not name any specific channels or videos that would be banned, but on Wednesday, numerous far-right creators began complaining that their videos had been deleted or had been stripped of ads, presumably as a result of the new policy. A lot of conservative, they're not far-right, they're just conservative creators, talking about politics or talking about immigration, or, just talking about certain things and making jokes. The biggest thing is you can't joke anymore. It's like if you have an off-color joke about something it's kind of offensive. Jokes are offensive, that's why they're funny. But if you do that, then it's considered as hate speech, So the censorship, this is very, very bad. This is like way beyond 1984, and people have to realize that targeted individuals, like this kind of stuff, is like, oh yeah, they're doing that because they're murdering people in their homes. Like they're torturing people 24 hours a day, torturing families. Yeah, they're doing such bad stuff. The military-industrial complex is doing such horrific stuff, and a lot of the leadership of different countries is doing such horrifying things that, yeah, they don't want it to get out there. When people are speaking these truths, they want to shut it down. I mean, it's an obvious thing. We'll fight against it in whatever way, but and I wanted to say something. My remote neural manipulation is really bad, and I'm having a hard time. Like, I replace what I wanted to say with something, but it's just my head is really messed up from being tortured. I wanted to say. Okay, I'll come back to. It's our responsibility to protect that and prevent our platform from being used to incite hatred, harassment, discrimination, and violence, the blog post said. The decision by YouTube, which is owned by Google, is the latest action by a Silicon Valley company to stem the spread of hate speech and disinformation on its site. A month ago, Facebook evicted 7 of its most controversial users, including Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist and founder of InfoWars. Twitter barred Mr. Jones last year. The companies have come under intense criticism for their delayed reaction to the spread of hateful and false content. Content that the military-industrial complex, or the top of the pyramid, the people in power, content that they don't want to get out. because they don't want people to know how corrupt they are. It's not false content. Most of the content that's being punished and taken down is just content backed up by facts, and things like that. At the same time, President Trump and others argue that the giant tech platforms censor right-wing opinions, and the new policies put in place by the companies have inflamed those debates. Very interesting how this happened right before the 2020 election, right? Very, very interesting how a lot of conservative voices are being silenced right before the 2020 election. Why can't Trump do anything about this? I don't know. Why can't he do anything about this? But that's how he got elected. He got elected by social media, by people spreading the word and getting it out, and a bunch of conservative bloggers and people who make videos and websites getting him elected. So it was a big deal in getting Trump elected. Now they're silencing a lot of conservative voices right before the 2020 election, using this one kind of very paltry incident, a very paltry, frivolous incident. They demonetized Steven Crowder, who he has millions of subscribers. He makes his living off of YouTube. That's another thing. It's like, I don't think that if you're speaking hard truths, you're not going to be able to make a living on YouTube and depend on it. You got to defer. We're all going to have to diversify. Not that I make money off of YouTube, and not that I go into a lot of, this is a hard truth. The targeting, remote neural manipulation, remote neural monitoring, and I try and stick to that because I realized this was coming. But for us as targeted individuals, we have to talk about other corruption, like other things that are corrupt in society, and false flags, things that led to this. So, are we going to get penalized for that? We'll have to see how it goes. But I think everybody's got to diversify, got to try out other platforms, got to go. Got to use this, but not depend on it, right? Not depend on YouTube anymore. We can use it as far as it goes, which isn't very far for me as a targeted individual. For a lot of you other guys who are telling hard truths about a lot of corruption in society, use it as far as it goes, but don't depend on it. Have it here as a platform while it lasts, while it's burning down, but prepare to get the word out about things that are going on in society in other ways. So I didn't want to make a long, let's see, the tension was evident on Tuesday when YouTube said a prominent right-wing creator who used racial language and homophobic slurs to harass a journalist in videos on YouTube did not violate its policies. The decision set off a firestorm online, including accusations that YouTube was giving a free pass to some of its popular creators. In the videos, that creator, Steven Crowder, a conservative commentator with nearly 4 million YouTube subscribers, repeatedly insulted Carlos Maza. He made jokes. He said lispy Latino. That was like the worst thing I heard him say. Lispy Latino. And Carlos Maza is a homosexual Latino. It was an off-color joke. It was an offensive joke, but it wasn't meant in any kind of hate way. I don't know. I disagree with this decision. YouTube agreed, sided with Steven Crowder at first, but then when it got so much pressure from the left, got a lot of pressure from the left, it buckled and then created just a censorship scorched earth, which it took effect immediately. The way that it took effect immediately, that it was in the works for a long time. They just didn't think about that this day and then try and plan it from there. It had already been planned because it went into effect that day. Went into effect. People are already, they're already getting kicked off, already getting demonetized. So this was in the works, and they were just trying to figure out how they were going to roll it out. I think it's using this small incident to do it is weird and should be an eye-opener for everybody. We need to open our eyes, and we got to find some other ways to fight. When something gets when YouTube, and I'm still going to use YouTube, and I'm going to try and find other ways, but when YouTube was bought by Google, that's when everybody should have said, okay, I'll make YouTube videos, and I'll maybe make some money, but I'm not going to I'm not going to depend on it. And I'm not talking for me. I don't make any money off of YouTube. I do advertise on some of my videos, but it's like maybe enough money to buy like a McDonald's hamburger every month or something like that. So, okay. In the videos, that creator, Steven Crowder, a conservative commentator with nearly 4 million YouTube subscribers, repeatedly insulted Carlos Maza, a journalist from Vox. Mr. Crowder used slurs about Mr. Maza's Cuban American ethnicity and sexual orientation. He said lispy Latino. That's like one of the worst things he said. Mr. Crowder said his comments, will my channel get demonetized because I said lispy Latino? We'll see. Just reporting on it. Just reporting on it. There have already been sites taken down, like as a mistake. Certain sites that are against certain things, but since they use certain wording, they're seen as hate, but they're like actually against that hate speech. So the algorithm's just knocking everybody off that uses any of those words. There was even one person who I think they got demonetized because they were using too many capital letters in the title of their YouTube videos. For real, I wish I could find that, but I'm pretty sure that actually happened. So it's just insane. It's just insane. Crazy satanic clown world. What do we do now? What do we do since the world is completely insane, clown Satan world? And I look at this situation, and I'm, as a targeted individual, somebody being murdered in my home right now, being tortured, my brain's being tortured. Like, I can't communicate like I want to. I can't think like I want to. I'm tired from years and years of torture. This, I'm kind of like, well, maybe people will see how bad it is. It's like that. When an alcoholic has a moment of clarity because things get so bad, maybe they will, overplay their hand. All these corporations in Silicon Valley, they'll overplay their hand where people will understand how bad it's gotten, and people will finally react. They'll finally start listening to the truth. I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to see how it goes. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like I'm being tortured in my home, so I wasn't even gonna really do a video on this. But it's just such a big story, and I've been using YouTube for so long, and I know a lot of other targeted individuals use YouTube to try and get the word out about this, about what's happening to us. Because it's just not like it's like, oh yeah, I mean they're gonna have to. They're gonna the evil military-industrial complex and the leadership of the globe. When things start to get out and the truth starts rolling out, they gotta stop it because the truth is so horrifying. They'll be hung. They'll be caught for treason and stuff like that. So they have to stop. They have to stop any kind of truth coming out. When it starts really rolling and snowballing, it was kind of, I think it's an obvious thing for even non-targeted individuals that tell hard truths that this was coming. When power doesn't want you saying something, it's going to try and shut you down, and that's we live in that world. Crazy clown, satanic, Satan clown world. That's what we live in. So Mr. Crowder used slurs about Mr. Maz's Cuban American ethnicity and sexual orientation. Mr. Crowder said his comments were harmless. I kind of think they were harmless too. I really do. I agree with Mr. Crowder. He's so milquetoast, staying on, like, he's not very edgy. He's a little bit edgy in his political commentary, but he jokes. His jokes are kind of off color. But that's what jokes are. Jokes are supposed to kind of get people riled up. They're supposed to be offensive. That sucks. Like, I mean, if I tell a joke, I'm not telling many jokes nowadays because I'm just my brain's so blasted. But if I start telling some funny jokes, will my channel get taken down? If it's off color, if it's maybe a little bit offensive. I use some slurs sometimes too, but I don't know. I have a hard time watching myself because with being targeted, your brain's so tired that you can't really navigate using specified words to be careful. Sometimes you just have to say it, And if you don't, you end up floundering because your brain's so messed up. And YouTube determined that they did not break its rules. So YouTube agreed that Steven Crowder, that his comments did not violate policy. Opinions can be deeply offensive, but if they don't violate our policies, they'll remain on our site, YouTube said in a statement about its decision to Mr. Crowder. On Wednesday, YouTube appeared to backtrack, saying that Mr. Crowder had in fact violated its rules and that his ability to earn money from ads on his channel would be suspended as a result. We came to this decision because a pattern of egregious actions has harmed the broader community, the company wrote on Twitter. The whiplash-inducing deliberations illustrated a central theme that has defined the moderation struggles of social media companies. Making rules is often easier than enforcing them. Well, I mean, they just wipe out channels, and that's how they enforce it. They just deperson somebody. You think, I just want to go ahead and say it, these social media platforms that are connected to Google, like Facebook, and YouTube, these are little social experiments. These are little, they can deperson somebody. Somebody can get really popular, and they have got a big number of views, and that's kind of their self-worth, right? They're telling their truth. They're speaking out. They got a voice. Boom, take away that voice, right? So we're seeing like a part of a social experiment, and really kind of weird. This is kind of weird. I just want to put this in there that Bilderberg met like 2 days ago, and then this happens. They're talking about the weaponization of social media. I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me. It's also crazy. I can only deal with one big ball of crazy at a time, and that's my targeting. That's being attacked by remote neural so I don't even usually go to stories like this, even though I'm on YouTube, but it's just so big. This is scorched earth censorship. This sets a precedent. This sets a precedent, and there's not a lot of journalists, Mockingbird journalists, speaking out about it. They're lauding the censorship. They're lauding censoring free speech. Everybody has the right to say what they want. My attackers are just cutting out all my stuff. Let me finish up what I was reading there. My attackers made it really hard to get up my screen sharing. They're just totally hacked into my computer. And they are all the time. So. Okay, how long? I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to give you all the gist of this story, and we're gonna have to kind of keep watch. Okay. Okay, this whiplash-inducing deliberations. This is an important and long overdue change. Becca Lewis, a research affiliate at the nonprofit organization Data and Society, said about the new policy. However, YouTube has often executed its community guidelines unevenly, so it remains to be seen how effective these updates will be. YouTube's scale, more than 500 hours of new videos are uploaded every minute, has made it difficult for the company to track rule violations, and the company's historically lax approach to moderating extreme videos has led to a drumbeat of scandals, including accusations that the site has promoted disturbing videos to children and allowed extremist groups to organize on its platform. YouTube's automated advertising system has paired offensive videos with ads from major corporations, prompting several advertisers to abandon the site. I've got a solution. Why don't they do age restriction? Why don't they start? People could put their own age restriction limit, but YouTube could also enforce that. I think that would be a good idea, so that children don't see maybe some more controversial subjects that are kind of scary that adults need to see, like false flag stuff. But there's a lot of other solutions to this besides just wiping out people's channels, So let's see. The kind of content that will be prohibited under YouTube's new hate speech policies includes videos that claim Jews secretly control the world, that say women are intellectually inferior to men and therefore should be denied certain rights, or that suggest the white race is superior to another race, a YouTube spokesman said. The problem with the videos that claim that Jews secretly control the world is if people talk about Israel's policies, Israel's corrupt policies, or Zionism, the danger of Zionism. That in this video, I mean, I could lose my channel just saying this in this video. But the danger of Zionism, it's not Jews in general. It's the leadership in Israel. It's a certain philosophy, a belief that is evil, not the entire people. So a lot of people who talk about it still talk about it where it's not racist, where they're bringing out facts and they're talking about political leaders in Israel, they're talking about the Mossad, they're talking about dual citizenship in the United States, and a lot of really Mossad operating in the United States. It's even if you talk about that stuff and you're not racist about it because you're not going after an entire group of people, YouTube can still rule that it's anti-Semitic. And that's a huge problem. Like, No More News is very level. Like, he just puts out facts. He knows that it's not all Jews controlling everything. He talks about Zionism. He talks about the corruption in Israel, and he got demonetized. I mean, if they can go back on videos, like, it's not like just the policy takes place now and from now on your videos are going to be looked at. They can go back to any of your videos, you know, so you're not grandfathered in. Just a lot of people have to talk about issues that they need to be talked about. Like, the truth needs to be talked about. The huge messes that this world has made. And I think that the problem is that YouTube can just say that it's hateful. That's the big problem. And everybody knows that. It's obvious. With their policies, they can just say, even if it's not hateful, even if it's just getting out facts, because YouTube is owned by Google and Google is related to the military-industrial complex, the military-industrial complex doesn't want people knowing about something, doesn't want it getting out. They'll say, oh, that's hateful. You know, or if they have some kind of, well, agenda, which they do, which the military-industrial complex does, the top of the pyramid does, or political agendas from the left, if it doesn't go along with their political agenda and they've got control of the platform, then they can just wipe anything out and say it's hate speech. I think this is all obvious. I think this is all obvious stuff, but I just wanted to let you guys know about it. The New York Times article, it's obviously going to be very slanted. Channels that post some hateful content but that do not violate YouTube's rules with the majority of their videos may receive strikes under YouTube's 3-strike enforcement system but would not be immediately banned. So I think that people are going to get, you get a warning, and then I think videos that have hateful speech are just taken down automatically, but you get a warning, and then if you do it again, you get, I think it's based on the 3-strike rule, yeah. May receive but would not be immediately. They're immediately banning people. They're immediately shutting down people's channel, because I think they're going back in their videos, and they're like 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, gone. So they're just picking out the strikes in the videos that they've already made. So I mean, that's kind of a lie right there. Okay, the company also said channels that repeatedly brush up against our hate speech policies but don't violate them outright would be removed from YouTube's advertising program. So that's what they did to No More News. He speaks in facts. He's not racist. He makes sure that he's covering news stories and concrete evidence about really bad stuff that Israel's doing, about the Talpiot program, about a lot of things that really do concern targeted individuals. You know, because this tech, you know, 5G, Israel's not getting 5G, but they sure are getting any kind of technology advancement that America is making by killing its own citizens and torturing its own citizens. Those advancements go straight to Israel. And Israel is also spying on Palestinians, doing remote neural manipulation, remote neural monitoring to Palestinians, and through-the-wall surveillance and stuff like that. So they're experimenting on Palestinians too. My channel could get taken down for just saying this stuff, but it's not about the people as a whole. It's not about the J-word people as a whole. It's about leadership. Like you know, I say that Masons are pretty evil, right? A lot of Masons up at the top, and then there's some, you know, people in the CIA and the DOD, and these people and the contractors. A lot of them are white. They're white men, but I'm not saying all white men are bad, right? But I guess we can say all white men are bad. Let's see if I say that. All white men are bad. All white men are bad. Will my channel get taken down? I don't think so. I think that's the only thing that you can say. I think any other thing that you said besides all white men are bad, that would get your channel taken down. And I'm sorry if that seems whatever, but it's true. It's true, and everybody's got to admit it. The company also said channels that repeatedly brush up against our hate speech policies but don't violate them outright would be removed from YouTube's advertising program, which allows channel owners to share in the advertising revenue their videos generate. In addition to tightening its hate speech rules, YouTube announced that it would tweak its recommendation algorithm, the automated software that shows users videos based on their interest and past viewing habits. It's already tweaked its recommendation algorithm. Targeted individuals' videos are never recommended except to other targeted individuals, and they do that with a lot of content. So they've already done that, but what they're saying is they're going to do it more, and they're going to do it better. I was looking up today, just on this issue, YouTube censorship, and I was pulling up a lot of mainstream stuff about YouTube censorship in general that happened like 2 years ago, and none of the YouTube videos that were talking about like the censorship that just happened. So they're doing that with many topics. Like if you look up 9/11, like if you look up 9/11, the 9/11 attacks, you're going to get mainstream media. You're going to get mainstream media. So there's a lot of other topics too that I don't even want to mention. I don't even want to mention a lot of topics because they're so controversial. I don't even know what the point is of me talking on YouTube anymore. Is if I can't, if I can't say. If I can't say, well, I can't say it. I can't say it. There's some false flags that I'm not going to mention, right? Because I don't want to lose. Because I want to talk about targeted individuals and get the word out here. So, how much am I going to compromise here? And do I want to compromise? I mean, I'm going to get before I do anything rash. This is what I gotta do before I do anything rash, because that's what I want to do. Because we just got to speak the truth about everything. And when we start censoring ourselves, a fear of being knocked off a platform or something, I mean, that's like way into the jungles of censorship. But I want to prepare myself. Hopefully this video won't get me in too much trouble. All white people are bad. I'm just joking. All white people are good. Everybody, there's good and bad in every race and culture. We should all say that and know that. There's good and bad in every race and culture. And we should stick to that. And then talk about stuff. Talk about the leadership of different countries. The leadership, agencies, intelligence agencies of every country. But just agree on there's good and bad of every race and culture. Okay, so this algorithm is responsible for more than 70% of overall time spent on YouTube and has been a major engine for the platform's growth. But it has also drawn accusations of leading users down rabbit holes filled with extreme and divisive content in an attempt to keep them watching and drive up the site's use numbers. So they're talking about like flat Earth and stuff, where YouTube pushed them up in the algorithms, and that was the event that made YouTube start not recommending conspiracy theory videos. Now, I'm pretty sure that targeted individuals, that were us being murdered in our homes by contractors and subcontractors on the DoD, pretty sure it's considered conspiracy theory, and that's why we're not recommended in the algorithms and stuff like that. Even though that is the case, which is insane. I mean, we're satanic clown world, right? Even though that's insane, a lot of targeted individuals have been successful. I mean, I've been pretty successful, and I really appreciate everybody who's supporting my channel or my secondary channel. I love you guys, and I hope that I'm giving you good stuff, good information on targeting. Now, this article, I don't usually report on stuff outside, but this does have to do with it. But what was I going to say? A lot of other target individuals have done way better because they go and they do interviews and stuff like that. So there's a way to get around. Those algorithms. But I don't know. I think my whole thing in this is you know, if you can keep using YouTube to get your message out, do it, but prepare. Prepare to jump off. Prepare to jump ship. Don't depend on this, and I've got to really work on that too. And I think I'm gonna try not to joke around too much and say, because I think I've already said a bunch of things that could maybe give me a warning. I don't know. I don't know. If the hate and I didn't even, and I've been very like trying not to say certain things, but just, you know, who knows anymore? Who knows anymore what words you can't use or what joke you can't make? That's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. What can't you say? Like, I don't know. Their policies have guidelines, but then they can come in and just decide whatever they want. If the hate and intolerance and supremacy is a match, then YouTube is lighter fluid, said Rashad Robinson, president of the civil rights nonprofit Color of Change. YouTube and other platforms have been quite slow to address the structure they've created to incentivize hate. In response to the criticism, YouTube announced in January that it would recommend fewer objectionable videos, such as those with conspiracy theories about September 11, 2001. So they're not going to recommend this video because I said 9/11 a bunch of times. Terrorist attacks and vaccine misinformation, a category called borderline content. The YouTube spokesman said on Tuesday that the algorithm changes had resulted in a 50% drop in recommendations to such videos in the United States. And I would guarantee you that, you know, targeted individuals and people being non-consensually tortured with remote directed energy weapon systems, it fits into that borderline content. Even though it's completely true, we need help immediately, but it's definitely in that. Because it's something that the military-industrial complex and the power structure doesn't want getting out. So they can say it's anything. They can say it's borderline content. They can say it's a flying duck that's dangerous and it's going to breathe fire on all of us. And then say that firing duck, that duck breathing fire needs to be shot and killed. I'm trying to just laugh. I think, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, I do. I mean, we're going to keep going and fight, but it's just like everything's so crazy, and we are living past 1984, and some people are like, oh, the bad times are coming. The bad times are coming. No, the bad times are here. People are being killed and tortured in their homes. This little censorship thing, this was obvious. This was obvious, you know? We'll get past it. Other platforms will grow. It's all good. It's all good. And I mean, I think they're just going to keep the same kind of thing that they're doing to targeted individual videos, shadow banning and not recommending us. But the thing is with other topics such as people speaking out against Zionism and against dual citizenship Israelis here, and you know, Mossad connections to 9/11 and there's a whole huge, you know, thing going on there. You know, they're getting traction. I think they were getting traction, and you know, their videos are promoted and everything like that. There's a lot of very, very non-anti-Semitic, smart men who just go by articles and facts, and they're concerned about America, and they just want to talk about it. And I think just talking about something, they don't want to just talk about it. They want America to not. I'm not going to go into the specifics of it, but a lot of very non-anti-Semitic people talking about it who are going to be seen as anti-Semitic now because of these policies. Okay, so he declined to share specific data about which videos YouTube considered borderline. Right. I guarantee you, the targeted individuals are one of them. Our systems are also getting smarter about what types of videos should get this treatment, and we'll be able to apply it to even more borderline videos moving forward, the company's blog post said. So, okay, before, I just wanted to make this a quick video, but I did want to go to the official blog and just let you guys know kind of what they're zoning in on as offensive content. So that targeted individuals or alternative news, if there's some alternative news content creators that are watching my videos, so y'all will know what to stay away from, you know, what to not say, or maybe we can use different words for things. I feel like when that happens, it's like censorship is so bad. Why what I do is I'm like, okay, well, my topic, because I'm a targeted individual, I have to just talk about that. But there's a lot of other things that I would like to talk about because they directly correspond to what's happening to targeted individuals. But I kind of do, and I don't. Am I compromising too much? I mean, when we have to start compromising and not talking about certain situations and say, well, I'm just going to talk about this situation because I'm at least able to get this through. They're still keeping targeted individuals down, but they're not shutting our channels down. Um, I don't know. That's a question we all have to ask ourselves. Like, I mean, when does too much censorship? And I think the answer is use YouTube for as far as it'll go, but let's search out some other platforms that aren't that aren't censoring, and maybe on those other platforms they might not have algorithms to shut down targeted individual videos too. So as those, we'll find out what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out the platform that most of these people who are leaving YouTube, what's the platform that they're going to, which the ones that's getting the most popular, and then head over there. I don't know. I might go to a couple. I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay, so this is YouTube's official blog, Wednesday, June 5th, 2019, taking a harder look at harassment. There have been a lot of questions over the last few days in our policies on harassment, particularly around two YouTube creators, Carlos Maza and Steven Crowder. These are important issues and we'd like to provide more details and context than is possible in any one string of tweets. I guess I'll read this just so y'all know this. It's a frivolous situation, really, that has created this YouTube scorched earth. Since YouTube started 14 years ago, we have focused on providing a platform where anyone can broadcast themselves. They're not talking about it. Okay, I mean, I guess everybody pretty much knows. He just used some homophobic slurs, but they were really jokes. They were really jokes. YouTube sided with him at first, but then Marza, did a whole Twitter, like many pages of Twitter, complaining about it, and then got some other online journals and a lot of leftist media to complain about it, and it looked like YouTube was pressured into doing this. But I think that they already had this in the works, and they were just looking for a time that they could pop it off. They were just looking for some excuse to pop it off, like that whole crisis, problem, reaction, solution. They were like, oh well, this is a problem, so we'll do the reaction solution part because we got the reaction solution part to it. So let me just go down. I'll just read this last thing just so I can give y'all what their policy guideline is, kind of. And it's not going to be exact because they're going to be able to do whatever they want, really. They're going to be able to say whatever they want about any kind of content. But this is what they're saying. So removing more hateful and supremacist content from YouTube. YouTube has always had rules of the road, including a long-standing policy against hate speech. In 2017, we introduced a tougher stance towards videos with supremacist content, including limiting recommendations and features like comments and the ability to share the video. This step dramatically reduced views to these videos, on average 80%. Today, we're taking another step in our hate speech policy by specifically prohibiting videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination. But that, Steven Crowder's video wasn't that. Segregation or exclusion based on qualities like age, so ageism, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. This would include, for example, videos that promote or glorify Nazi ideology, which is inherently discriminatory. There's a big problem with that, though, because there are some, really Nazi-type ideas and white supremacist ideas, and I agree. I think that I actually do think that those people should be able to say what they want, and people should just know that they're idiots. But the problem is that when they say Nazi ideology, people speaking out against Zionism and speaking out about the role of Israel, the relationship between Israel and the United States, which is very, very weird and bad for the United States, they could say that that's like anti-Semitic and Nazi. So I mean, that's what they're going to do. I mean, that's what they're going to do, which is inherently discriminatory. Finally, we will remove content denying that well-documented violent events like the Holocaust or the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary took place. So if there's an upcoming, I'm not saying that those were false flags. I'm not saying that those are false flags, those two right there. But I'm saying if there is a false flag, like a shooting that is a false flag or something like that, and it's pretty blatant, whatever the government says that it is, we have to say that on YouTube, or you get a strike, you get your channel taken down, you get the video taken down. You can't ask questions about those. They're going to use that school in Connecticut to make sure that any and I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not saying that it was a false flag, but I'm saying they're going to use that incident to, if there is a false flag in the future, to take those channels down. So, and false flags are a huge part of all of our different countries. False flags are going on all the time. We have to question things. So this censorship is the most vile, awful, horrible thing ever. Besides people being murdered in their homes with remote directed energy weapons, but it's still vile. It's still part of the moving on to censor people, to take away their free speech. So when you take away their free speech, when you take their guns, they can't say shit, and then when you take away their guns, you can kill some more people, right? And that's, I mean, this is a part of that agenda. YouTube is definitely part of that agenda. I do want to say I thank YouTube for being able to speak on it for so long. I think that it was good before Google bought it. It was good before Google bought it, and even after Google bought it, I still used it to get out information about targeted individuals, and I've helped a lot of targeted individuals, and a lot of other targeted individuals have helped other targeted individuals and helped get information out. I wish YouTube would have been a little bit more fair about recommending our videos and things like that, because then the word could have gotten out more. But obviously that can't happen because that's not part of the plan. And YouTube is going to be part of the plan. Part of the plan of the military-industrial complex, part of the plan of the pyramid up at the top. So, okay guys, that's it on this one. I just wanted to kind of, let y'all know about this if you didn't know about it. It's a huge deal. It is a huge deal, and from what they initially say about it, it doesn't sound that bad. It sounds good, right? It sounds okay. They're going to get hate speech off, right? I mean, but even that is a problem. It's a slippery slope, and if you stop the hate mongers from being able to speak out, then it's like, oh, well, you can stop somebody that's saying something like I'm saying, like being targeted, being hit with remote neural weapons, and they consider that conspiracy theory or whatever. Then it's a slip. Oh, stop that, because that's harmful speech. That's harmful speech. That's harmful speech. That's harmful speech. So free speech has to be free speech for all. And I think it's something that maybe people with more progressive stance, they don't want to say, because it may make them sound racist. Even I'm like, well, I don't want to say everybody, because there's a lot of people who have hateful ideas. But free speech has to be free speech for all. It just does. That's the only way it works. When they start taking away free speech from certain people, then it keeps on rolling, and it's a slippery slope, But all right, guys, I love y'all. I just wanted to let y'all know about that. It affects YouTube. It's affecting a lot of content creators. A lot of people who come to YouTube to watch those content creators are going to other platforms. So it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. So many good channels are getting taken down that are just conservative, and they're just going through articles, and they're just going through evidence. They're giving some opinion, but they're not racist, and they're not anti-Semitic, and they're just going over issues, country to country issues, world politics, things that we need to be looking at, and we should be able to question anything if we're not being racist or anti-Semitic or sexist or ageist or whatever. What about this? It's like, okay, justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. Like, I'm talking about, there's some ex-army, some ex-military that gang stalk me. There are some veterans that are being attacked and are being targeted. So if I talk about that, is that going to get a strike? Am I going to get a warning? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna try and stick to the targeted individual topic, to me getting hit and y'all getting hit with these remote neuro weapons. And actually, my next video, I want to do another video about Julian Assange. I know it's been a while, but I'm very worried about his condition, and I think that people should be more worried about it, because nobody's saying what I think is really happening to him. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, and I'm not going to, it's going to be an exclusive because nobody else is saying it, and I'm sure of it. And I think y'all know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to back it up with some evidence from some articles. All right, guys, I love y'all. I hope that this kind of gets you prepared, gives you a little information about it. Maybe we need to start kind of diversifying. I think diversifying in this very uncertain, that's a very politically correct way to talk about our society, but this uncertain society where a lot of crazy stuff is happening, a lot of tyrannical stuff, we've all got to diversify, especially if you're trying to get very, very important, crucial truths out to people. Diversify. I think I'll be checking BitChute out and DLive out first, but still using YouTube as far as it will go. If I can get information out here, I will do so. It just makes me kind of like feel like I'm compromising, where I'm like, well, I'm not going to go into this territory because I might have my whole channel shut down, so I need to stay on the topic. But it's like those other topics that you can't go into have a lot to do with what's happening to us. And that's where it's like, if I'm compromising, then what's the point of making a video and telling the truth if I'm compromising and not going into some territories? I don't know. We'll have to think about it. God bless all of you today, ladies and gentlemen. Targeted individual survivors of this non-consensual human experimentation, and non-targeted individuals also. Anybody who's watching this video, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're finding some peace. There's going to be some solutions coming up. It kind of like at the beginning, it's like, oh my gosh, it hits us as scorched earth, but then other platforms start building up and other things start happening, and we evolve as human beings. If me and a bunch of other targeted individuals can survive and evolve with our brains being microwaved 24 hours a day and find a way through it, I think that we can all find a way through YouTube doing more censorship. We just gotta adapt and evolve, keep telling the truth, keep connecting with real moral Americans in whatever country you're in, real moral people in the UK, people in Australia, people in New Zealand. We just need to keep the moral high ground, keep telling the truth, connect with people, and that's the important thing, and just keep moving on. Even though things are satanic clown world. All right, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Just take care, stay safe. Let's not let any of this stuff get us too depressed, because there's always going to be solutions. We are creative, intelligent human beings created by the smartest, most beautiful, creative being, God, in the world, and He has given us gifts which this evil system cannot predict and cannot plan for. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.